Welcome back to Press Review, and let me start by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. Starting with the Jerusalem Post, which leads reporting that the Prime Minister's office has reacted with much reserve and a great deal of skepticism to Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas's strong condemnation in Saudi Arabia of last week's kidnappings of 3 Israeli teenagers. The paper also reports that Israel Police Commissioner has appointed a team of officers to examine how police on the night of the abduction handled a distress call from one of the kidnapped teens that was thought to be a prank call and was ignored for 5 hours. From the UAE, the Gulf News reports that the UAE has called its ambassador to Iraq, expressing deep concern over the continuation of the policy of exclusion, sectarianism and marginalization of parts of the population by Baghdad. The paper also reports that declassified US documents have shown that the United States began reassessing its position on the Muslim Brotherhood over a decade ago, leading to a policy shift that resulted in Washington's recent engagement with the group. From Saudi Arabia, the Arab News reports that the kingdom has urged the international community to shoulder its responsibility towards halting the dangerous Israeli military escalation against the Palestinian people. The paper also reports that 40 Indian construction workers have been kidnapped in Iraq's second-largest city of Al-Mosul, which fell to the ISIS last week. The Egypt Independent reports that judicial sources said that Adli Mansour, head of the Supreme Constitutional Court and former president of Egypt, would step down when the court considers the challenge of the protest law because it was him who issued and ratified it when he was president. The paper also reports that Cairo airport authorities have arrested Wahba Muhammad Ibrahim Hassan, brother of Islamic preacher Muhammad Hassan, before traveling to Morocco, as his name was on the list of travel ban. And from Lebanon, the Daily Star reports that Prime Minister Tamam Salam has pledged to protect Lebanon from the dangers of regional conflicts, particularly the civil war in neighboring Syria. The paper also reports that Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan says US airstrikes on militants in Iraq could cause a high number of civilian deaths and that Washington did not view such a strategy favorably. And now let's take a look at top Middle East news from papers here in the UK. The Telegraph reads Middle East news reporting that Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif said that Iran and world powers started drafting a comprehensive nuclear agreement on Wednesday, but still face many sticking points. The paper says the talks, which run through to on Friday, are aimed at clinching a comprehensive nuclear deal by a July 20th deadline set up by an interim agreement. The Independent leads Middle East news section reporting that the US has told senior Iraqi officials that the Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki must leave office if it is to intervene militarily to stop the advance of Sunni extremists. The paper adds that the Sunni community sees Mr. Maliki as the main architect of its oppression, and the Americans believe there can be no national reconciliation between Sunni and Shia unless he ceases to be the leader of the country. Also from the UK, The Guardian reports that the Turkish Deputy Prime Minister has said that the number of Syrians in neighbouring Turkey has surpassed 1 million. The paper adds there are more than 20 refugee camps in Turkey near the roughly 500-mile border with Syria, housing more than 220,000 people. But the bulk of people who have crossed the border are living in Turkish cities and have taken advantage of the open border policy maintained by Turkey. And now let's take a look at the top headlines in international papers. Germany's Deutsche Welle reports that Iraq has formally requested Washington's help to halt an advance of Sunni insurgents from the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, according to Iraqi Foreign Minister Hoshyar Zebari. The paper adds that US Army General and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Martin Dempsey confirmed the request when addressing the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee. And finally, China's Global Times reports that the Libyan government has demanded the United States to hand over the suspected designer of the 2012 attack on the US consulate in Benghazi. Libyan Foreign Minister spokesperson Said al-Saud said the government condemned the US operation on Libyan territory without government's prior knowledge, adding that the suspect should be returned to Libya and tried in Libyan courts. And for more updates, please visit our website levant.tv. Thanks for watching our press review. Be sure to join us again tomorrow, and bye for now.